Hello, everyone. Uh, well, I never thought I'd be making a video using, my actual voice. Mm, I like to play things close to the vest. And, well, I just wanted to make some comments or just share my thoughts about, the recent Fantastic Four movie that Fox put out. I mean, I've been hearing a lot of, just a lot of disturbing things about interference with the director and the studio doing damage control and having the writer go in and reshoot some scenes and actually direct new inserts and which were shoved haphazardly into the movie. Well, you know, I honestly have to say that they just fucked up. I haven't seen the movie and I really can't see the movie because I'm a true I'm a true fan of Jack Kirby. I I love this artist. This guy created a lot of our current pop culture, and I feel like Fox and by extension, to some degree, Marvel, done him a great disservice. So I really can't buy into this, and just even the fact that it was based on an ultimate line of comics, even the fact that it was based on that line is an insult to a basic comic book fan. Uh, Everyone keeps talking about how great the actors are, uh, the shitty special effects, whose vision was right, or was Fox right, or was the director Josh Trank fucked with? And basically, I just say it's all one big pile of shit. Basically, the studio that's had this property for over a decade didn't know what they have and still don't to this day, and they fucked up. I don't care about the other movies. I'm fond of the Roger Corman movie and what they did with a $2 million budget, and that director is Oli Sasson. Well, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Oli Sasson. He directed that movie for $2 million. He is given a budget of $4 million, but Corman sliced half of the budget to create a movie Frankenstein Unbound. It's an entertaining movie, but that's not why we're here today. I just want to say that since Fox has had this property, they have repeatedly fucked up and dropped the ball. And I just want people to stop lying to themselves. If you're a real comic book fan, uh, you would probably say fuck this movie too. Like I'm saying fuck this movie. Now people are talking about this is a different interpretation and this is you know this is this is their take on the movie. Well, it's based on a comic, an iconic comic that started a. If you do your homework, this comic is what started the Marvel Renaissance in newsprint back in the day. The subtitle of the subtitle of the comic for many years was World's Greatest Comic, and I don't think anyone down at Fox took that in consideration when they were putting together the project. Whoever the producers were, you know, I don't know what the deal is with Simon Kinberg, but um, he's he's not that great of a writer. I'm being generous saying that, considering what he's done with the other property, which shall go unnamed over there at Fox. They don't know what the fuck they had. Now they made those movies with Jessica Alba and I don't even know how to say this guy's name. Owen Grofield and Michael Chiklis and you know Captain America. They made this movie and those movies were shit. They were absolute utter shit that showed that the guy didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Tim Story took one in the ass when he made those two. We haven't really heard from him since then. He hasn't directed any high profile movies or any fantasy stuff. He pretty much segued back into his urban niche. I'm just saying, um, you know, as far as this property goes, it's simple math. If you got something that's worth $1 billion and you make 100 million, are you even making a profit? And that's excluding the 2015 movie. If you let me rephrase that. You know, they say that those two movies with the Jessica Alba movies made hundreds of 100 million or more or whatever. I don't care. These movies sucked. They don't treat this movie. They don't treat this property with the respect that it deserves. Whatnot. They didn't put any thought into it, any creativity. They didn't try to find a guide that matched up perfectly with the property. Josh Trank, he made this thing Chronicle. I don't think I've seen anything else that he's done. I've watched the movie. It's mildly entertaining. Very mildly, you know. It's a fucking found footage movie. You know, that qualifies him. That first movie, a fucking found footage movie, you know, with some Adobe After Effects type, you know, special effects in it, you know, qualifies him to direct a movie with a budget of over, nearing 200 million more. You know, Fox entrusted this guy to do this, and then apparently fucked with him while he was making a movie. He reacted badly. Didn't have no good producer. He didn't have anyone to, you know, help him out, obviously. And apparently he didn't understand what he had. I fucking hate the ultimate line of Fantastic Four. I think those comics are complete and total shit. And I don't know what's going to happen with this property, even if it goes back to Marvel at some point. I don't know what's going to happen to this shit. I just know that this studio has its head up its ass with respect. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. And I would like to, I don't know, I'd like them to just stop making these fucking movies. Don't make any more Fantastic Four movies. Please let your rights expire. Take a tax cut or whatever, you know, because I'm tired. I don't want to hear any more arguments about, oh, these actors were good and they had nothing to work with and the effects were fucked up and studio did this and that. They didn't know what the fuck they were doing from the moment they bought that shit. They didn't know. It's pretty fucked up. Yeah, I'm using, you know, I just want to say, you know, I'm sorry for using the adult language, but you have to understand my position. I'm an older gentleman, and I grew up reading these fucking comics, you know, a lot of them. I actually used to get comics for 35 cents out of a comic vending machine, and I don't think anyone's ever seen that. That's not a, you know, not part of Generation X. They don't understand what they had. It's real simple. Reed Richards is an older gentleman. He's one of the smartest men on the planet. A genius, of a genius level intellect. He has a academic rivalry with his arch nemesis, Victor Von Doom, and I'm not going to talk about what they did to him because they just fisted him. That is the deal. Okay, that you start from there. He's the smartest man, one of the smartest men on the planet. He has an academic rivalry that blooms into something later, something treacherous with his rival, who is also one of the smartest men on the fucking planet. He's married to a younger woman, and she has a brother who's a kind of a hothead. You know, I don't want to get into all this shit. You know, and as far as being grim goes, you know, the quote-unquote thing, only the Corman movie seems to have gotten that relationship right. You can go back and look at that. If you can suck it up and look at that low-budget movie, you'll see that director knew what the fuck he was doing. Because that guy that played Ben Grimm looked like the drawing. He behaved like Ben Grimm. Both him and the gentleman in the costume who did the costume acting for this gentleman. It was fucking, you know, I liked the movie. I think that guy should have been given some money. They should have dug this guy up and gave him about $60 million back in the 90s to do the thing right, you know, and take Corman off so he can get his hooks out of it. I'm sorry. I know I have these long pauses, and I'm gonna release this raw because that's how I feel. I'm very raw, and I'm bitter about these movies that have come out. And I read today that Fox was still pushing ahead with the sequel, and I think that's just big talk. From them. They fucked up, and they need to clear house up there. They need to get off. I don't know who's snorting what, or who's drinking, or who's doing what. But the buzzwords that I heard connected to this project when people described it or reviewed it were things like body horror. Its movie is similar to a Cronenberg film, The Fly. It's a hard sci-fi. I don't have a problem with the hard sci-fi element, but when you start talking about body horror or as anything Cronenberg, is Alien and is that is. And if you don't believe me, you can look up a Jeff Goldblum movie called The Fly and see how disgusting that is. Now, this guy's pitching a film, and he brings up body horror and hard science and, a Cronenberg. Why are they letting him do this shit? And he's never done shit before. I'd rather them get a middling director, Get that fucking Oli Sassoon guy. Get, anybody, man. Why don't they give that guy that did Tron Legacy this fucking movie, Get somebody with a goddamn vision. Give him some money and get off his fucking back. Marvel's not going to support this property until they get it back under Disney's umbrella. So, I've been told they canceled the Fantastic Four comic, and I'm pretty happy about that, actually. I don't want any more Brian Michael Bendis influenced, projects. As far as I'm concerned, that's all shit. Okay? It's all shit. We live in an age where you can realize anything on film. I never thought I would live to see the day when you could have anything on film, and yet these people have no fucking imagination. They just shit out money for like, just a third of a project. The Fantastic Four. I mean, crap, So, this raw video, I guess it'll serve as my inaugural video or not. From time to time, I will comment on some other things that I like, or things I'm interested in. That I'm sorry, I'm just taken aback by the fact that they cannot get this property right. I'm not I read the X-Men as a high school student, as a kid, as a high school student, and as a college guy. These comics kept me company while I studied and and persevered. I just would like to get some payoff for that. These guys, they got all the fucking money and they ain't got none of the brain. I just want a decent Fantastic Four movie, and I don't think they have it in them to give it to the public. Just make something. Do something decent. Just remember this: next time you fucks decide to make another reboot, the fucking name of the comic is Fantastic Four. The subtitle: World's Greatest Comic. Use the 616 universe. That is the standard Marvel. Well, you got the standard, characters. You got Reed, older Reed, Caucasian Reed. Sue, that's in her 30s. You got Johnny, and you got Ben Grimm, the heart of the team, and that gruff guy. Damn it. Why the fuck do they keep making these goddamn movies? Fox don't know shit. I'm probably going to go in on them on another video. But for right now, this is me signing off. This is the Geek Underground. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Take a look at some other content. I do have some, I guess you'll call them troll videos, but I do have troll videos and things that I've posted over the years. So enjoy that.